Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Garden Girl. Again, I'm so tickled. It's springtime. Our gardening season is here. It's the best time of year in my book anyhow. And I'm so glad to have you guys here as viewers. And like I told you in the promo, we're getting a little more nitty gritty. I covered the basics last year. So now we're going to go into some different things that I didn't get to quite get in the first season. So today, we are up here in my absolute favorite spot when I attended OSU ATI, and this is the conservatory. And I have students and Dr. Bob with me today, where you're going to finally learn a little bit about why I love tropicals and houseplants so much and why I'm always like, get a houseplant, get a houseplant. So now you're going to find out today, and you're going to get to see some of them, so maybe you know what to pick out and what you like and what you can go to the store and grab. So when we come back from this break, we're going to introduce Dr. Bob, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the conservatory itself. So grab your iced tea or your lemonade and coffee and come right back.
The sound of silence and cars were cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know. I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, carry on. We are who we are.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Well, hopefully you're not thirsty. And so I would like to, if you didn't catch last week's episode, I would like to introduce you to Dr. Robert McMahon, or as we affectionately call him, Dr. Bob. Today, Dr. Bob, I have you here. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about this awesome conservatory building. How long has the conservatory here at ATI been here?
All right, this conservatory, and by the way, welcome to the Buckeye Tropics.
There we go.
But this conservatory actually was built in 1926 in Mansfield, Ohio, just 30 miles west of here, and it was given to the campus by that estate in 1975. So it's been here now 40 years, and faculty, staff, and students took it apart, transported it here, and built it. So talk about hands-on learning here. So it was actually built, relocated, and built by Ohio State faculty, staff, and students.
I didn't know that, and I was up here playing for quite a few years. Now, what is the purpose of the conservatory being up here?
Well, first and foremost, the purpose of the conservatory is for education. The tropical plant collection in here, which numbers well over 200 species, is used for an ID course. And so students learn the common and scientific names of the plants. So education in that regard. Also for my greenhouse specialization students, They are assigned either the front and back portion, depending on the number of students, or one in the front and one in the back to take care of for the entire semester. So they're responsible for watering, for fertilizing, pest monitoring, diseases, etc. And so it's also used for education and a more practical experience as far as hands-on. And of course, it's just for the public and for everybody to enjoy. You come in here, especially after the horrible winter we had, it was a nice escape to come in here, get away from that brutal cold, and at least pretend you were in Florida or somewhere in the tropics with the nice warm atmosphere here and the tropical plants. So it's also for enjoyment as well.
Absolutely, and that's something I did a lot of times. When I was in classes up here in the winter, I usually am always down south, Heatherhead South. And when I couldn't, those couple winters I was up here taking classes, man, it was like, okay, I feel like I'm in Florida. I'm just going to close my eyes. And it is wonderful that it is open to the public. And, a lot of these plants are marked, so if there is something you like, all you have to do is look at the tag or ask. A lot of times these students, they can rattle them off, no problem. So that's what I was really, wanting everybody to get a feel for. And as I don't know if you can kind of see it, we'll get you some views. This is glass. So the reconstruction of this place was not a simple task.
No.
And the upkeep, glass greenhouses are gorgeous and their longevity is wonderful, but would you agree too, it's probably the most, these aren't cheap. Glass greenhouses are...
Especially old glass structures like this, the glass panes are always slipping apart. And in fact, we just had a company here reglazing and tightening the panes back up. And of course, there's maintenance as far as painting the wooden frame. I mean, this is a wooden and metal frame, and so there's a lot more upkeep with these older structures compared to the new modern frames and glazings. But it's worth it. This is a beautiful facility. I call it the gem of our campus. It's the campus icon, really, for Ohio State ATI. It's such a beautiful, unique little structure.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And, we're talking about house plants. When we talk about, one of the biggest things, and it was one of the research papers I did on, was the NASA study. It intrigued me, and you guys know, some of you that know me, know I'm always like, get a house plant in your office, get one in your house, get more in your house. There is an air quality factor that these tropicals, aka house plants, can provide. And I wanted to kind of talk about what we call VOCs. Dr. Bob, do you care to explain to them why
Absolutely.
It's a good thing to have them in your house?
Absolutely. Having house plants in your home, of course, or where you work has many, many benefits. First, they add beauty. First and foremost, they add beauty to a rather stark environment. They can soften the surroundings. They actually have a soothing or calming effect and can actually reduce the stress, especially how stressful things can get at the office. Well, actually having a living thing there can actually lower your heart rate and your blood pressure. It gives you something to take care of. Also, they're volatile organic compounds that are given off by carpet, by fabric, by walls, drywall, etc., such
printer
as
cartridges,
printer
cleaners.
cartridges, such as formaldehyde and benzene and all these other scary sounding compounds that are not good for us. Well, these little wonders here, your house plants, tropical plants, will actually absorb them and in exchange give out pure oxygen. So they actually are biological air purifiers. They actually enhance the air quality of your workspace or your home.
I've been preaching it. Sometimes I feel like if you don't want to believe me, listen to somebody else here. I like to have some backup here. And I know as well, you're talking about the stress level. One of the things I covered last year on my third episode was landscaping versus real estate values and crime.
Oh, yes.
And again, if you guys go back to that third episode when we talked about it, trees in a neighborhood decrease crime. There is a stress relieving factor. Again, it's the beautification, it's the pride. And the same thing goes when you come inside your house. And I believe it is 1 every 150 square feet, if it serves me right, that you need to have a house plant of at least a 6-inch pot, I believe is the, I'll have to double check that, but
I think
I'm
it's
almost
pretty close, 100 or 150 square feet,
Yeah.
something like that.
So, you know, you got to figure out one in your bathroom, one, you know, start thinking right now.
Or more than one.
Or more than one, yes. It doesn't hurt. It definitely doesn't hurt because some are good at cleaning certain things where other plants are good at cleaning other things. So what we're going to do, we are going to cut to a break real quick. We'll let you guys go grab a pen and paper because I think you're going to want to write some of these plants down. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Brilliantly practical scientist Harriet Tuttle's search for a more efficient life concluded with an unorthodox solution. Harriet created 4 more Harriets. Together they were a model of efficiency. However, while identical, they had their own interests and their own retirement plans, each customized with a Raymond James financial advisor, allowing them to enjoy life separately and together. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Hi, I'm 1450 WJER's Bill Morgan, inviting you to join me on television Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 for TV2 Sports Talk. Sports Talk is your weekly look inside high school football, volleyball, soccer, and more. Look for guest appearances from your favorite area coaches and players. TV2 Sports Talk, Wednesday evenings at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.
Well, hopefully you're back with a pen and a piece of paper, or a pencil and a piece of paper. So, say you're deciding you're gonna finally bite the bullet, you're gonna try this. Well, maybe you're not a very advanced gardener. No problem, not a problem, because let me tell you what, we're gonna talk about a couple plants that you can find really easy around Ohio itself and around our area, whether it's Tuscarawas County or the surrounding counties. And there, I promise you, you'd really have to do bad things to kill them. So, Dr. Bob, I have a couple in my mind that
Sure.
I think are good, and maybe you can explain if I'm on the right track here.
Sure.
One of them is the cast iron plant.
Absolutely. Can't kill that thing.
Okay, so, and it does a very good job. It is on one of the top 10 lists for air purifying. It does a very good job.
And it survives well in low light intensities as well. So you don't have a problem with lack of light.
Exactly. So if you don't have a lot of sunny spots, this is a good one that you can kind of sneak in a corner, and it's not really going to complain too much. As far as care goes on it, I mean, I've had one. I don't do anything. You don't really do anything to
They
it.
thrive on neglect.
Yeah, yeah. Which means going into the next plant that we're going to ask, snake plant.
Yes,
Mother-in-law's.
mother-in-law's tongue, Sansevieria. They're another tough one. They add a nice vertical element to a space. And they also have some color to them as well, some variegation, and they're also tough as well. So,
Those are the ones that actually like to be pot bound, don't they?
yes, they do just fine being pot bound. Nothing bothers them.
Yeah, so again, we call it mother-in-law tongue or snake plant, some people call them. Now, if you want to hang something, the one coming to my mind is what we call, some people call it the airplane plant, other people call it spider plant.
Yes. Yes.
Another good one?
Yes, you can get them just with the plain green foliage or variegated white and green stripes. And they send out these runners with little white flowers and then small little spider plants on the end that you can actually detach and grow. And they fill out a hanging basket very nicely and are, again, easy to grow. You just have to water them and they take care of themselves.
And the last one we're going to cover for something vining that can either hang or be in a pot, pothos.
Oh,
I love pothos.
Yes,
but
Yeah, absolutely. And pothos is also colorful, it's variegated, and it's easy to propagate just by cuttings, because after a while it might get a little too leggy. You just cut the tip, a cutting, root it, and put it back in, and there you go. Yes, very easy and very attractive plant.
Exactly, and these aren't expensive plants either. None of these are expensive plants, are pretty easy to find. So there's 4 suggestions we're gonna give you that you probably won't, you'll be fine with. You're not gonna kill it. So go out and give it a try. If you can't find it, message me. I'll tell you where to find them. So message me either on TV2 or on my Facebook page, one or the other, but get a hold of me. When we come back, we are gonna talk to the students and you're gonna find out how things get taken care of in this place. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
At Bear Carpet One, we're more interested in hearing about your needs than talking about our achievements. Here you will find the best selection of floor covering in the region. Currently we are featuring Lee's Carpet. They have been producing carpet since 1846 and still offer the same quality that has made them famous. Visit our storefront located in Sugar Creek next to McDonald's for our store-wide sale from September 5th through September 13th with special financing. Bear Carpet One, where beautiful is made affordable.
As a parent, we always want what's best for our child. In the case of one child, it may be going off to college. In another case, staying home and going to college. And yet, in other cases, it could be going right into the workforce. But how will they have the skills to do that? Buckeye Career Center has been the answer for one of our daughters. She's learning to do things with her hands that are going to be very valuable for her in the workplace. And we're excited we have Buckeye to thank for that.
Adults who return to Buckeye Career Center to continue their education usually have one goal in mind. They want the opportunity for a better job. The fact is, adult education programs at Buckeye Career Center are less expensive and provide greater opportunities for job placement following graduation. It's your future. Get the facts. Buckeye Career Center. We put people to work. Find out more about your future at buckeyecareercenter.org.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, as you can see, this isn't Dr. Bob anymore. I have Dave with me. And Dave, how long have you been here at ATI?
This will be my 4th semester. I started my first semester of grower duty in the back of the conservatory, and then I moved up here once I finished that one.
Okay. And you know what, now you say back to front and vice versa. What do you take care of in here as a student? What are your responsibilities in here?
Well, typically every day I have to be in here at least by 10 to water, and then the way the days have been going now, it's so hot and dry, sometimes I have to be in here back again by 3 to water again, and that's just a pain. But aside from that, we have a big issue with scale right now, and that's really my main issue in this house. Every day I'm here scrubbing, trimming, just everything we can to get rid of the scale, and it's just not going away.
Yeah, scale is something, and we will cover that in a later episode. I just didn't want to get into that. Like I said, we're getting into more advanced stuff, but if somebody tells you you have scale on something, that is not good. They're not very fun little pests. So now, what are your 2 favorite things you like to do in here?
Honestly, I love it here because it's just so relaxing. I love to come after a big night of studying, come in here, put my headphones in, and just trim plants and just be in the atmosphere for hours at a time. It's just extremely relaxing. And the other thing I like is just the amount of plants we have here. You have the Dieffenbachia, from everything. It's just an amazing variety.
It's like walking into Miami.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing. Now, what are you planning on doing once you get done with school?
I'd like to do something with public horticulture. I'm working on applying at a few different conservatories around here, Stan Hewitt, the Cleveland Botanical Gardens.
Oh, that place is awesome.
It's beautiful there.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yes, Yes, I agree. I think everybody should take trips up there. Well, when we come back, we are going to hear from another faculty member at Ohio State University ATI, and they're going to give you a little bit of information. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi everybody, it's the Garden Girl, and we are on to our last week, week 3. Okay, in episode 13, which is Heather's Garden Revisited, my question is, can you fix a leaf that is damaged by fungus with a fungicide? Can you fix that particular leaf? Email your answer to me at heather@wjrtv2.com. And don't forget, this is the last week, so I am picking a winner on May 27th. So get your answers to me before then. Good luck, everybody. Hi, welcome back. Now, as I said, I know some of you guys have some possible kids that are kicking it around about the horticulture industry itself and or landscaping, because that's growing too. Our outdoor living areas continue to grow and grow and grow. So I have a very special person with me. This is Dietrich. And Dave, what do you do up here at OSU with everybody?
I actually manage the admissions office here at Ohio State ATI. So we help students through the financial aid process, the application process, whatever we can do to help them get from A to B, obviously, and get them here enrolled on our campus.
And it's a pretty simple process, right?
It is. Students can go to apply.osu.edu and they can apply online. It's a rather simple process. It should only take probably 20-25 minutes to fill out the application at the most. Once we have their transcripts, then we can go ahead and get them admitted to our campus.
And you guys, if I remember correctly, I know I was involved in a couple of the open houses. Mm-hmm. Do you have any open house? When's your next open house going to be?
Actually, our next open house is this Saturday.
Is it? Okay.
We have one more for this spring, and then we'll actually have an admitted student day the following weekend, which is, I believe, the 24th.
Yes.
So we'll have some admitted students on campus to help them basically prepare for orientation and the enrollment process.
Okay. Okay. So anybody that wants to apply, they can apply at osu.edu?
It's actually apply.osu.edu.
Okay.
And it is an online application. So it's pretty simple, like I said, and that's where they can go and visit.
And how many students, do you have a rough idea how many, because I don't even know. I know there's an equine program and the landscape and the greenhouse. I mean, it's kind of limitless up here. I don't even, honestly, even when I went here, I couldn't name all the ones that are here.
We have approximately 30 majors that students can start in, and they can either complete a 2-year degree and then move into the industry after they complete their Associate of Applied Science, or they can complete 1 or 2 years on our campus, complete the Associate of Science, and then transition to Columbus to complete their bachelor's degree. So we have programs ranging from agriculture, horticulture, environmental science related areas, and across the board.
Okay, so you know what that means. If you guys are thinking about any of these possible endeavors in life, you really probably should come up here and check it out. I know you can stay on campus. There's plenty of dorms and apartments and everything up here. I drove it, wasn't a bad drive, trust me, I did it 5 days a week. So we will make sure to pop up on the screen the email and even the admissions number if you guys have any questions. Trust me, everybody is so friendly up here. I cannot say I've ever been to a college in my life where everybody was so laid back, so nice, and so helpful. So when we come back, again, I'm going to get with my students here, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the gardening world.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, you can see it's not Dr. Bob and it's not Dave. I keep switching people up on you. Now I have Hillary with me. And Hillary, you're a student here as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now how long have you been here?
This is my fourth semester here.
Okay, now you are in, what part are you in charge of in here, or what's your responsibilities in the conservatory?
I work in the back of the conservatory. My responsibilities are taking pH and EC measurements, taking pest counts, and fertigating or using clear water. And I have to water the same amount as what David would do. Like I would have to water in the morning before 10, and then come again in the afternoon, and then water before 3. And my job around here when I'm not doing that is to clean the benches and clean some foliage and deadhead some plants, and it's pretty relaxing in here, and I like seeing all the varieties of plants and learning more varieties as I'm a student here.
I would say I learned from working in here, I learned the varieties a lot quicker because you'd work with them and you'd see the tag. Do you think that's the same? I mean, that's the way it was for me. I felt like I picked up on them and remembered the names and everything once I was in here taking care of them. Would you agree?
I agree.
Exactly. So now, what would be your 2 favorite things about this? The relaxation, is that one of them?
Yes, I like to come in here and just look at my accomplishments from maintaining the conservatory, and it's just pretty relaxing just to breathe in a gasp of fresh air, and I like mixing fertilizer and taking pH and EC measurements too, and taking pest counts.
EC we'll get into later, don't worry about that. I know I talked about pH, I have not talked about EC, but don't worry. We'll cover that later in the season on a future episode. That's getting into the advanced stuff a little. So now what's your game plan after ATI, the afterlife of OSU? What are you gonna do?
I would like to be in probably a management position at a greenhouse business, and or be a head grower position, kind of like a similar position like that, and I would like to maybe start out as just a grower for a greenhouse business and work my way up into a management position.
Awesome, awesome. Well, see, you're hearing all kinds of stuff, and these are all very local people. They're right here in Worcester. So we have a lot of great things going on with alumni and what are going to be future alumni here. So I would say the gardening world on a lot of different levels is here to stay, and it's growing and continues to grow. You know what? I am such a bad host. You know what I forgot to do last week? I forgot my question of the week, and I had one. Actually, I had 2 people ask me this, so I'm just not even going to worry about names. But okay, this is the beginning of May, and the question was, can I put my tomato plants outside? No, you cannot. Not yet. Don't do it. It's one thing if you started them in your house and you have them. I'm not saying you can't slide them out for a little bit, let them play with Mother Nature, but bring them back in. If these are stuff you started from seeds, you definitely do not want to do that. Do not do it. You will shock them and you will feel really bad about your life after that. So you want to slide them out for like an hour. Do not give them any extreme temperatures. Bring them back in at night. You want to keep them as consistent as possible, but they do need to get used to getting some wind on them. It does add to their stem strength. So to answer your question, no. To answer the other question, what is my favorite potting soil? Heather, what do you use in your gardens? Well, in all my containers and in all my seed starting, I use ProMix. I'm a fan of ProMix. I know it's becoming more and more common. I know we have it at Hillcrest. Different places have ProMix. ProMix is used by a lot of growers. It is not the cheapest, but by volume, I can't tell you how much it's used and how well liked it is. So the answer to that question is ProMix. You cannot miss it. If you need a retailer, like I said, we have it at our place. You're more than welcome to stop by and grab a bale. These are large. This is a little 1-quart bag that they come in. So this is a volume. And then the other potting soil that I really like is called Better Grow. It is not widely used, and it's worked well for me. And that's going to be in your smaller bags. If you guys are older and you're doing just a couple containers, I would probably either do, in the Miracle Grow, I don't know what they changed this last year, but the couple bags I've opened up this year have not been too shabby. I've really been happy with them. So I hope that helps you out a little bit. So either ProMix, Better Grow, or the Miracle Grow. Those are the 3 that I deal with, and I've been really happy with the bags I've opened this year. Stay tuned next week. We have more fun stuff coming. It's time to get the equipment out and start playing in the garden. So we are going to talk about equipment and what needs to be done with it. And we're going to go into another couple fun things. We might even get into some weeds, like some dandelions and stuff. So it's going to be a surprise every week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Don't worry, don't rush. It's just spring. It's not summer yet. Thanks, and I'll see you next Wednesday.